Welcome to Meaningfulness, Engineering Purpose in a Complex World podcast series. I'm Djeff B., Principal Architect at Meaningfulness Media Group, where we build rigorous frameworks to uncover objective meaning through authentic connection, ethical systems thinking, and responsible stewardship in an age of AI and informational chaos. If you're seeking evidence-based insights on philosophy, psychology, and human flourishing, you're in the right place. Let's begin.
All right, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into two ideas that are just absolutely crucial for living a fulfilling life, especially when the world feels a little uncertain. We're talking about the power of resilience and the human search for meaning.
So let's just start with a really big question, but one I think we've all wrestled with at some point. When life throws its inevitable curveballs, what is it that really keeps us going?
Well, it turns out the answer usually isn't just one thing. It's this incredible duo. On one hand, you've got resilience. That's our ability to get knocked down and get right back up again. And on the other, you have meaning. That's our why. It's the reason we even want to get up in the first place. Okay, so let's tackle that first one head on. Our first section is all about defining our fortitude and really getting a handle on what it even means to be resilient. You know, it's so much more than just being tough. Resilience is really about the capacity to recover quickly, yes, but it's also a kind of mental fortitude. It's what allows us to not just survive a challenge, but to actually adapt, to evolve because of it, and to truly bounce back from whatever life throws our way. And resilience isn't some big, mysterious quality. It's actually built on 4 core components. First, self-efficacy. That's basically believing in yourself, that you can handle things. Then there's optimism, keeping that hopeful outlook. Third is social support, leaning on your people. And finally, adaptability, being flexible and adjusting when things change. And here's what's so empowering about this. Resilience isn't some fixed trait you either have or you don't. It's much more like a muscle. It's a dynamic skill that anyone can build and strengthen over time with conscious effort. All right, that brings us to the other side of the coin. Let's move into our second section, finding our why. And this really gets to the core of what it means to be human, doesn't it? That timeless search for a meaningful life. So what is meaning? Well, think of it like your internal compass. It's that deep down sense of purpose that guides your actions and your decisions, giving you stability inside even when the world outside feels totally chaotic. And you guessed it, just like resilience, meaning isn't just one big thing. It has different parts to it. There's purposefulness, like knowing what you're aiming for. There are relationships, those deep, meaningful connections. There's personal growth, that constant desire to become a better version of yourself. And finally, contribution, that amazing feeling you get from giving back to something bigger than you. And nothing really captures the raw power of meaning like this quote from Viktor Frankl. He was a psychiatrist, but he was also a Holocaust survivor. And what he found was that even in the absolute bleakest, most horrific circumstances, having a sense of meaning could be the one thing that kept a person's will to live alive. It's an absolutely profound idea. So, we've looked at them separately, but here's where it gets really, really cool. Let's dive into section 3, the reinforcing loop. Because these two things don't just sit next to each other. No, they actively feed into one another in this powerful upward spiral. Here's how it works. When you're resilient, when you face a challenge and you overcome it, that win, it doesn't just disappear. It builds this incredible sense of accomplishment, which in turn deepens your sense of purpose. It makes you feel like your journey actually means something. And then it flows right back the other way. When you have a strong sense of meaning, when you know your why, it becomes this anchor in the storm. It makes the how you're going to get through the tough stuff, feel so much more possible. It literally fuels your resilience. And look, this isn't just some feel-good idea. This connection is actually backed up by a ton of research in psychology, neuroscience, even sociology. The science is clear. This reinforcing loop, this powerful connection between resilience and meaning, it's the real deal. Okay, so that's all great in theory, but how do we actually do it? How do we build these things in our own lives? Well, that's what section 4 is all about. Let's get into your practical toolkit with some real, actionable steps you can start using today. So for building resilience, a few things really work. You could try mindfulness, even just for 10 or 15 minutes a day, to get a better handle on your emotions. You can make a real effort to connect with your support network, your friends, your family, to get that perspective. And another big one is setting goals. Using that SMART framework helps give you direction and builds that all-important confidence. And what about finding more meaning? Well, you could try journaling for just a few minutes each day. It's amazing for aligning what you do with what you value. Or something as simple as a gratitude practice. Just writing down 3 things you're thankful for can totally shift your perspective. And of course, there's volunteering. Giving your time to a cause you care about adds an incredible layer of significance to your life. So if there's one core idea to hold on to from all of this, let it be this beautiful metaphor. Resilience gives us the strength we need for the journey. But meaning gives us a destination that makes the journey worthwhile. And that really just leaves us with one final thought to take with you. Looking at everything we've just talked about, what's one small thing, just one manageable step that you can take today to start strengthening your own journey?
That's all for this episode. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. If these ideas resonate, continue your journey toward objective meaning and authentic connection at meaningfulness.com.au, where you'll find materials and resources to engineer purpose in your life. Until next time, let's build something meaningful.